Good evening, everyone. How you doing? This is Mike. Is my audio on? Yes, my audio is on. We'll turn it up a little bit. All right. Hey, so I just put the little slideshow there on for you guys so you could see um, when the net is on Thursday nights, and I want you guys all to come. You can get in on EchoLink. You could use the KO4PDI repeater in EchoLink and hook up to our net and hear me. I'll be the net control guy tonight. Thursday night, and you're more than welcome to come on with me. I was going to do a live stream. The reason I have this up is you could see me in the side camera up there and my computers, and I got that little radio over there hooked up to AO27, which is dead. I don't hear anything. You can see it's about to set to the north, which means I wouldn't have got it by now anyway. Turn off that hissing in the background. Eventually, once I organize my ham shack, the radios will be right in front of me, the monitors will be right above it, and the computers will all be right in front of me, and I will be able to control everything from this seat right here, except the fine-tuning on the radios. I may have to lean over there to do it. But all the sound will go through a mixer and be able to be perfected so it sounds really great when I stream. And you'll be able to watch along. What you're looking at here on the screen to my right is the SAT box output in my computer. And what you do is the SAT box hooks up to the Wi-Fi in your house, and they give you an IP address. And all you got to do is type that IP address into your browser, and this screen comes up, the big one. The little screen is an additional window I added. I can show you, we can actually add more stuff to this. If I go over to the big window and click on it, you see my mouse there, and I go over here and I click window. Now, it's not there right now. Let me see. I want to switch it so I can add it. Okay, that's the screen I want. I want to add another window capture. And I'll show you this other window. I'll call it Next Passes, because we are going to pick the big empty window and tell it okay, and there it is. Let me shrink that down so everybody could see what's on there. Right now it's just a black screen. I'll switch that there, and now I'll transition and you'll see it. Now you see this other little line here above that just showed up. That is the new window, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up on top here. I'm going to hit Next Passes. When you see me post a list of all the passes for the day, this is the screen I'm putting up there. You can see it underneath the big screen now, right here. This is it. And this tells me every satellite that's coming over till about 5 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. So AO27, next time it will appear is at 7:07. It already did. Let me refresh this list. Yeah, AO27 supposedly right over me now. It's just setting right this minute, 7:21, which is actually the time. So that's going to be setting right now. But you can see JO97 is coming up next at 8:43. AO27 will be back again at 8:46. AO91 is going to just pass on the edge. You can see it's just a slight, very low pass, 11 degrees. That's it. You really can't get those. The next good pass coming to me is at 10:56 tonight. I will be long since in bed by 10:56 tonight. That's HO113. I have had contacts on that. AO91 comes up after that. Let's see. Interesting stuff to get on the second line. You see the bright orange box? This one right here? That's CAS 4A. That's going to be a pretty high pass. 88.6 degrees above me, which means there should be no problem getting that with 5 watts. I only got to use 5 watts. The thing with the satellites, and I stress this because some people that get into satellites don't understand. I had a guy say to me, why do you keep talking when somebody else is trying to talk? It was an FM satellite. You only have one way into that FM satellite through the PL tone. When you get in, you give your call sign and your grid square. People that are new at this think they can do a rag chew on an FM. You can. You cannot do that. People are fighting to get into that satellite. You get a pile up every time. If you get in there and hear yourself coming back to you, that's a good thing. That means somebody heard you. Then you just wait for somebody to call out your call sign. Wait a few minutes, nobody does. Somebody stops talking for a split second. I jump in, KO4PDI, Echo Lima 99. That's all you do on an FM satellite. Do not do more than that. You're taking up space and time for somebody else to make a QSO. So you got to be fast, but you got to stay calm and don't get mad when people start doing stupid stuff. Like a guy yelled at me today, said, "Why do you keep talking when somebody else is talking?" I'm not talking when somebody else is talking. You're trying to carry on a conversation with somebody. We're trying to make contacts. Get out of the way, you know? Blink or get off the pot. Anyway, on a linear satellite, it's different. When you hear people doing a rag chew on a linear satellite, leave them alone. Don't bother them. When I first started out, I started stepping on them. And you think, oh, I got to get the satellite. It's here. It's only here for 10 minutes. I got to get it. No, relax. It goes around the earth continuously. You'll get another chance. Let it go. If there's a massive amount of people talking and you can't get a word in edgewise, don't worry about it. It'll come back again later on. I've been on satellites where I had an absolutely amazing connection and nobody responded to me. Nobody else was on it. I was the only one. That thing had a footprint the size of North America and nobody was on it except me. That was funny. That was really fun. I was like, hey, they flew that satellite just for me. Anyway, so you can see by the next passes window that there's a lot of passes between now and 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. KO4A is at 2:03 in the morning. What else we got? SO50 is a great bird. That's an FM bird. Great bird to get into, make a lot of contacts on it. Let's see, do we have any ISS passes tomorrow? Yes. At 7:31 in the morning, there'll be a very shallow ISS pass. And it won't be back again tomorrow. At 9:46 in the morning, there's a halfway decent AO91 pass. XW2C is going to pass at 69 degrees. That's pretty good. AO7 will be back, even though it wasn't working right now. I'm going to report it on the AMSAT page. Speaking of which, let's show you what that looks like. So I just tried to get AO27, and it was not heard. So let's go over to the AMSAT page. Here's the AMSAT page. Let's get this one out of the way and this one to the right, and we'll refresh that. Okay, so here's the AMSAT page. The blue marks are somebody made contact. For instance, this one's great. CAS5A is a new one. You can see, can you see it? I'm pointing to it. Oh, I gotta select that window. Okay, here I am. All right, so you see like the first one on the top is AO109. Somebody tried to listen to it. You move your mouse over it. It's red. Said not heard. W7WGC reported that. Now, I am going to report right now AO27, which is the second line here. The last time somebody heard it and talked on it was yesterday at 16:46. All right. So that's like just before 5 o'clock. So what you do is if you want to put up a report, I'm going to do it right here. I did not hear AO27. So I go over here, I select the satellite, AO27. Not heard. Today's December 11th. It's actually, what time is it? It would have been 46 to 59. And then you put your call sign here. And you put your grid square here. I don't put the 6-digit grid sign, just the 2-digit. And I tell it submit data. Then it'll ask me, is that correct? I say yes. And now I go back to the main page. Now watch this. AO27 right here. Look at this. December 11th. Where's my report? It's not here yet. Refresh the screen. Nope. It'll show up on December 12th here when it does show up. It hasn't shown up yet. But I said it wasn't heard. I guess they check them first or something. But you'll see a little red box over by December 12th here when they post my report. So I do that so that now if you get on this tomorrow and you say, oh, let me try AO27, and you check this page. This is amsat.org/status. you get to www.amsat.org/status, and you will see this page. And this is all the satellites. Now, what I do, a lot of people are always asking me, what satellites do you listen to, Mike? Well, this page is where I go to find out. So I start up on the top. AO27 is very sporadic. Some days people hear it, some days they don't. Some there's conflicting reports. Like here, I'm looking at December 8th. You had VE3RMC said he heard it, and KB1HY said he didn't hear it. What does that tell you? It's not reliable, you know. AO73, nothing. AO27, AO109, don't even listen to him. All right, now AO7. This is a tricky one. You don't want to go on AO7A because you probably don't have a radio that can do that. It's on different frequencies. I only try AO7B, and this whole line is all red. It hasn't worked since December 7th. Nobody's gotten onto it. So I won't even bother with that one. If it comes up in the thing, I'm not going to follow it. AO85, same thing, red all the way across. But look at this, AO91, blue everywhere. So that satellite goes into my directory of satellites that I'm going to listen to, and every time it comes by, I'm going to try to get on it. The next line, AO92, nothing. AO95, nothing. AO95, see, notice AO95 has UHF, VHF on one channel, and I don't know what else and VHF means. And you got CAS4A, that's a pretty reliable one. That's in my book. CAS4B, you can see that's pretty reliable. CAS5A and CAS5A FM are two brand spanking new birds. Their frequencies, look, they got 5AH and CAS5A VHF UHF FM, CAS5A VHF UHF also. So that's probably linear. And this is popular. This is a brand new satellite. You notice the three of them, they have many, many reports that people heard them. Only starting on December 9th, nothing before that, which means that's brand spanking new, man. Okay, then we have EO88, which is sporadic. FO29, that's another great bird. What happens with FO29, as the seasons change, it's in the light less. And when it's in the light less, it doesn't charge the batteries as much, so it shuts off when it gets dark and turns back on when the lights are on. So that could be sporadic. But certain times of the year, they just shut it down. So it gets a chance to rejuvenate itself. After FO29, the next most reliable one, FS3. I haven't talked on FS3 much, but it's there. HO113 is another bird, FM bird you can get into. IO117 is just, I don't know, it's just telemetry. I don't know why they even have it here, you know, because it don't work. I just noticed that my windows for Satbox disappeared. Okay, whatever. All right, so we left off on FO29, very reliable. FO99, not so much. FS3, according to this, it's working real good. HO113, I'll show you when I go to my Satbox how to save these good channels. IO117, I'm sorry, every time I went on, it's just data. I don't know what people are hearing. These boxes should be yellow. Not they heard it. If the UHF VHF channel is open, that's when you do a blue box. When you're just hearing data like FSK, FT4, anything like that, or beaconing, CW beaconing, that goes in as telemetry. That is not voice. Voice is supposed to be blue. Telemetry is supposed to be yellow. So these guys that are reporting it as voice, like this guy, M1DDD. Let's see, who's M1DDD? Let's look him up. Whoops, typo. M1DDD, who is that? That is Nick Gilbert from England. And he does roving satellites. Yeah, I should talk to him. Well, the guy's pretty legit. He's Radio Society of Great Britain. You should know his shit. Anyway, whatever. I don't think he's reporting, actually talking. I had somebody on this on the MSAT page, so you can see it right here. This idiot is putting down crew activity on 12/8 at 11 o'clock. Notice he's the only one. If there was actual crew activity, you'd have multiple reports of guys posting that they talked to a crew member. This guy keeps saying, I think this is the guy from Czech. What's his call sign? Weird call sign. EA0021SWL. What does that mean? See, that's how new I am. I don't even know what that means. Let's go on my log. Where's my log? Oh no, I closed it. Okay. Open a new window. And we'll go to QRZ. Still logged in. Put that guy's call sign in right here. I think this is the guy from Czech Republic. I emailed him and said, wait a minute. You can't do what you're doing. Let's take off that SWL since it didn't like it. It's not even a legitimate call sign. EA0021. I have no idea who that is or where it is. It's not a valid call sign, but the guy's reporting that he talked to the crew. I don't know. Somebody that knows better than me, you go ahead and research that and let me know what the story is. On the MSAT page now, if we keep going down, look at the ISS FM. It's been busy. Here you got two reports, one heard and one crew activity, RA3LCX. Let's see who that is. Where the heck? What did I say the call sign was? That was RA3LCX. RA3LCX. Who's that? This guy's in Russia. He supposedly talked to somebody, an astronaut. I don't know, man. I doubt it, but it's not my job to police this, so I'll let AMSAT worry about it. Anyway, but the ISS FM repeater's been working really great for a couple of days now. Really fantastic. JO97 never made a contact on that, I don't think. Lilac 2 is hit and miss, and you can see that by this line. You got red ones and you got blue ones. And you can see there's less blue ones because people don't bother with them after a while. The PO101 I have never made a contact with. RS-44 is a fantastic bird. It's flying over 500 miles up, so its footprint is literally from the Arctic to the United States. When it comes down, it covers all of North America. So I've talked to people in Panama. I've talked to people in Canada on that bird. It's a fantastic bird. SO50 is another one. It's not as high as RS-44. It's only about 250 miles up. But it has a pretty big footprint too, and you can get in there pretty easy. So that's what I do. XW2A, XW2B is hit and miss. XW2C works. You can see there's reports down here on the bottom where XW2C was heard. XW2F, forget about it. It doesn't. It's just telemetry. Unless you're doing, if you want to do APRS or something like that, great. But if you don't want to do that, don't worry about it. Okay, so let's go back to my SAT box. I'm going to show you another thing I do. I'm not making any more contacts tonight. And notice I parked my antenna. The little orange box is over the center of the window there. I have, let me just refresh this, make sure I got them all. Over the last 2 days, I've made 6 contacts. These are the contacts here that I've made. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download my log onto my other computer. Because my other computer, I have all my, hit download log and then tell it save. Save as. And just put it on the desktop. You can't see the other computer, don't panic. All right, I saved it. Now we're going to go over to the other computer. We're going to shrink everything down so I can get to the desktop on the other computer. I could show you the other computer, but I don't feel like doing that right now. And I'm going to open up my logging program for Logbook of the World. I'm going to upload that file. I saved it as an ADIF file on my desktop. And now I'm going to upload that to Logbook of the World. And it sees me, you tell it the date, now it's done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a browser. Actually, I could save this to the other computer. Let me do it to the other computer. This way you could see what I'm doing. QSO log. I'm not going to delete it yet. Download log. Save as. I just want to make sure it puts it on the desktop. It is. All right, so now it's on the desktop. So now what I do is I go over to my QRZ page right here, go to my logbook. There's my logbook. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload, import from an ADIF file. I tell it I want to report. After I do it, click that box and I choose file. Now, if we go to my desktop right there, there's the sat log right on top. I click on it, I tell it open, import ADIF file, and what will happen is after it imports it, it will send me a report, tell me how many QSOs were good, if there was any errors or anything like that. And I tell it continue, and we're done. Now, let's see, just for the heck of it, go over to Twitter. What's this notification? Is that telling me I'm live? Oh, Rona Strider followed me. Who the heck's she? I have no idea. I go home. I'm on Twitter now. You can see my Twitter screen. Actually, how do you get to your profile on Twitter? Down here? No, I got two accounts on Twitter. One's Photo Guy Mike and one's KO4PDI. Anybody mention me today? Oh, yeah. Jose Anibal Plano. Talked to him on a satellite on the 7th, and he thanked me here, replying to Hotel Papa 2 Victor X-Ray. That's Virgilio in Panama. Him and I spoke to this guy and on a satellite. Here's Virgilio here thanking me. You can see he's got my call sign in here at KO4PDI. And QSLs via Logbook of the World. That's what I do. He's in Fox Juliet 09 George Bravo. That's his grid square. I've gotten him many, many times. And here's some other stuff. Oh, there I am right there. Somebody mentioned me. Thanks, friend. Nice to greet you. Very early, by the way. But it was worth it. New grids. Echo Lima 99. I'm glad I got him a new grid. Anyway, so these are the mentions and stuff. Here's my profile. Okay, there's my car set up at Parks on the Air. That was at a place in St. Augustine. I was doing Parks on the Air. And yeah, look, I'm live. You can see if you were watching me on Twitter, there's my feed right there. So you can watch me on Twitter. You can watch me on YouTube. On YouTube, I'm KO4PDI. Actually, I'll go to that page and show you what that looks like now. This is a really good video I was watching. Is this where Jesus was tried by Pontius Pilate? Pretty cool video about Jerusalem. Okay, where am I? What account am I on? Let's switch accounts. Go over to Ham Fun. And I should be...
In the 1970s, extensive excavation...
Stop that. I don't want to watch that there. Let me go back to my profile. Home. Yeah, there I am. I'm live right now on YouTube also. I love this OBS software. I love Restream. That's what I use to get it on all the different things. And you can see there's Jason. I'm looking into campers, so I'm getting a million videos about campers coming up on my page here. And this is my good friend Jim Lee, L-E-A. A year ago, December 8th, Jim went into the hospital for a valve replacement in his heart. He had a leaking valve, and they were going to fix it. In the process, it went totally south. He coded. He ended up being in a coma for months. He didn't wake up till sometime in beginning of March. As a result of the medication they gave him, it constricted his blood vessels to the point where they had to amputate all his fingers and both his feet they amputated his legs from the knee down. And this is him. And if you ever take a look at this. love that he has a sense of humor. But go subscribe to Jim's thing. It's No Limb
I have a question
Jim
for you.
is his YouTube channel. Can you stop that? If you notice right down here, No Limb Jim on YouTube. Go subscribe to him and help him out. If you can give him any money, he's in debt for millions and millions of dollars. He's one of the biggest supporters of the EOCs in the area in Florida. He's helped out a lot of numerous towns with their emergency management. That was what he did. He was also a storm chaser. He can't do that anymore. He has no life. He is in debt up to his ears, but the man still has a sense of humor. His prosthetics are so adorable. It's almost like that was not real prosthetics, just so you know. Those weren't the real thing. That was like Lego something. But it's funny, and he keeps a sense of humor about him, and he's a great guy. Knows a lot about ham radio stuff. He owns Shack in the Box. If you ever saw Shack in the Box at a ham radio convention or a ham fest somewhere, that's his company. His kids are now building the Shack in the Box radios in Go boxes. I built my own because I'm learning and I wanted to find out. I made mistakes. I could have got a perfect box from him for about $5,000, but instead I wanted to do it myself so I'd learn how everything works. Plus I didn't have $5,000 to spend on that. If I had $5,000, I'd buy a ICOM 7610 with a couple of extras. Anyway, that's the story. That's what I'm doing this Sunday evening. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I had a magic show Friday, but went over big. It was great. Then I went to my friend's housewarming party, which was great. I had a good time there, and I didn't get home till 1 o'clock in the morning. I haven't done that since I was 12 years. Since I lived in New Jersey, I haven't stayed out that late. I'm a dirty stay out. Anyway, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this little conversation. I hope things are good. Remember my buddy James. If you can help him, look up No Limb Jim, NOLIMBJIM on YouTube and subscribe to his channel. All right. Why didn't my main computer? Oh, my main camera died. Why does this happen? It just stopped working. Oh, well, you still hear me? I hope you still hear me. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Well, let's go back to this so you can see me at least. And I'll close that browser so it'll just be me up there. Yeah, why didn't the main camera light? It's working. You could see it in this window. You see me up there, but when I just go to just the main camera, it disappears. Strange. Oh, well. Hey, thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed it, don't worry. Soon I'm going to be able to read the chat while I'm doing this live. And if you leave a chat on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, I will see your messages to me. But I'm not there yet. Still working on it. The place is a mess. The ham shack's a mess. You can look over my shoulder here and you can see. But we'll get there. And until then, I hope you guys are all doing well. Have a great rest of the evening. Have a good week. You people that have to go to work, I'll pray for you. I don't have to do that anymore. This is work for me. I love this. But anyway, thanks a lot for coming. And I'll catch you later. KO4PDI 73.